Greetings, I am Liz.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play a game together. Alright guys, so we ranted off a little bit in the last one. We are excited to find out what to do with Lucio in this one.
Yay! If we could do anything with him at all. Anyway.
We'll try. We're gonna try and net him. We're gonna try and catch us a man.
Not.
We're catching our...
Net.
Casting our net.
I mean net.
Net. We're casting our net into the sea to see if we can drag us back a man. Mazzalinka staggers back with a grunt, looking intensely annoyed. What's the matter, Grandma? Can't keep up?
Elia, we're up.
Aye, so you exist again. Has finally climbed up the hill again. After we just knocked them down the hill.
Right?
Aye.
On guard!
With what? Your glove?
Yes.
Aye. Julian puts his fists up like a boxer, feinting and throwing out jabs. If he hits you with that metal glove...
Which boxer style?
I need
Do you
to know
remember
too.
this one?
The old strongman kind of
Yes,
style?
where they have the little hand hanging out. And go,
There's also that meme of, like, the tough boxer guy, which I kind of love the shit out of, where it's like, you know, I shave with rusty razor blades or whatever, or you think boxing is hard, you know, you've never done it on busted glass or whatever it is, and it is that old world, like 1920s boxer.
I love the
It's
little
great.
the rotating, rolling face.
But yeah,
It's
I would
so
I would
good.
want to know what's his idol animation, Julian's, as a boxer.
Oh my god, the Arcana as a fighting game.
I want it! You know how you have all those Capcom fighting games,
Yes!
you guys? Their designs would look beautiful in a fighting game. And you know, you have all those long legs with the high kicks and stuff. Pasha would kick some ass.
It would be great.
It would be so good. And you'd have Mazzalinka with all these special different spoon moves. So she like pulls out her epic spoon for her finishing move and just smashes the whole half of the screen.
So are we talking like, are we getting into like Darkstalkers or Nightstalkers?
Like I said, Capcom games. So
Yeah,
like
okay,
Darkstalkers.
yeah, definitely,
Like that
okay.
larger than life stuff.
Yes, the fucking ridiculous stuff. God, that stuff gets so funny sometimes.
Alright, like a boxer.
Yes.
Feinting and throwing out jabs. I keep an eye on the fight, even as Astra and I weave the net, spinning our magic into gossamer threads, which I hope get thicker because that glove is sharp as hell. Whoo. Leave the fighting to the real warriors, hools. Hools.
Ah!
Just ack. 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 It's the raven sound, ack. My warning shout dies in my throat as Nzali lunges in. With what? They grab Lucio's wrist, put a hand on his elbow, and in one graceful move, throw him to the ground. Okay, grab the wrist, hand on elbow. That should break his arm rather than throw him to the ground, shouldn't it?
Whoa.
If they're not
I wonder
putting
if
a
that's
knee
like...
or their body into him or
I'm
anything.
like, is that supposed to be like a specific move? Because I thought it was like...
I say, now you can
Is this
use...
the whole, like pull people down?
So I think it would be the momentum of him coming at you. You grab his arm and his wrist and his elbow and throw him forward.
Oh, no. Yeah, so he's going like this and you grab, you go, woo, and you just fling. Okay.
He uses his own momentum, but it doesn't say he's running at them. So it's just they reach in and grab, they enter the fray and grab his wrist and elbow. So it really should be like they're parrying him to the ground based on how I know that goes.
No, like that sounds like kendo.
Yeah, that sounds like...
Or jiu-jitsu?
Somewhere in there. It's movement redirection. And it's momentum redirection.
It's Avatar-style airbending.
And I forget what it is, but like that is how that should work. And it would work so much better if Lucio was lunging them at that time.
Yeah, lunging at them.
That one. I say, but the X-Count leaps to his feet, his golden arm lashing out and striking Julian across the face.
He has one arm. Hey, Mike, did Lucio train So
I think he
stupid question.
Okay, go ahead.
Did Lucio actually then train extensively with one arm? Like, I appreciate he has claws, but sometimes you just go, a bitch is extra and a bitch just want to look extra.
And have some claws.
And I have some claws because I like tinkly on the table.
What I'm hearing is that he is used to, either he's being a bitch and he's just doing bitch claws at everyone and he's not really a good fighter, I would say, or he really is his dominant that hand. Okay, so it's his left arm, right? That is the
left hand.
That is the the
prosthetic.
Prosthetic, thank you. I was trying to find the word. I was going to say, so it's his left arm, this is a prosthetic. So let's say he's left-hand dominant, okay? He's left-handed, right? So then he's clawing at you with his, his dominant hand because that's easiest for him.
Right.
Not that it's necessarily his fighting style. Now, is he good at fighting? Maybe. Who knows? We don't know if any of these other people are trained in fighting either, because as far as we can tell, Julian doesn't actually want to be good at fighting. He just wants to brawl and mess things up. So he may or may not be good at fighting either.
I think that's one of the things that genuinely, though, kind of frustrates me. Okay, I'm sorry, guys, I'm gonna do it again. Like, that kind of frustrates me about this game. We don't have a lot of definitive answers about what people are capable at or skilled at, and I know sometimes you clearly don't have time to ask those kinds of questions. But it's frustrating because it does sort of feel like it kind of comes out of nowhere sometimes, and it doesn't feel cohesive or a part of the story in that way. Because we don't know a lot about these characters. Even Julian, we don't know a lot about them necessarily.
And again, you don't have to know a lot about the characters for the story to work. Like, it's not necessary.
Or to be invested. That's not what I'm saying.
So, I say, for me, the thing is, and that's not required even for my friend here, because there's a story we've been playing recently called Who Killed My Father Academy, where you don't learn much about the characters at all, but all of the stuff you do learn seems relevant to what's important in the story.
Right.
And so as basically a storytelling convention, and what would really help this game for both of us, is if the things that we did learn about them were things that were relevant to the story. So if we're going to learn that something relevant about Julian's, fighting or being able to do stuff, or about Count Lucio, then, it'd be set up and payoff. There's a lot of, here's some cool shit happening right now, but there was no setup for it.
Ooh, so like earlier, for example, in the Rowdy Raven scene that we had to optionally go and buy, the concept basically that Julian being good at fighting never came across to me. Because as far as I could tell, he just likes getting beat up on. That was sort of the implication that I got out of that. And that scene was confusing and felt sort of oddly written, but that's a different story entirely. So it's just kind of like going, that would have been interesting to sort of see going, he knows how to actually box, rather than just going, he's just in a fight and he ended up getting stabbed. We have heard that it's him that gets stabbed. Not the biggest, baddest customer, but again, different story.
I was going to say, there's different ways to interpret the writing because it's a little bit vague. I was saying, and that was one of the conversations we had around that episode. But like, in the case of Mazalinka, we get the impression that she's been using that spoon for everything forever.
And we've had information to back that up.
It doesn't matter, like, there's no need to go, she's had training with that spoon, or she has a fighting style with that spoon. It's been made very, very clear through minor character exposition that she uses it all the time and is very comfortable, doing things with it. And it would have been nice to have some more of that with anybody else. At any rate,
it's fine.
Here we go, across the face. Ow. All right, so this entire time we have been failing, and as Nerds Arc, we have been failing and stuck based on the fact that we cannot understand magic enough or focus on magic enough. We're too inexperienced with magic. Right now, in this moment, since Nerds had 9 million times wanting to ask Asra about more magic things and equip themselves better, we would absolutely stay put and keep working. In fact, if this net required any visuals at all to do the spell, we wouldn't have even seen Julian get hit.
Okay, so I was actually going to say something like that, like basically like that, of going, that doesn't... What's the point of knowing that, other than...
Also, the help Julian kind of thing is there's 2 other people, minimum, helping him. I don't know where Pasha is in this moment, though.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of frustrated. So this sort of like... So this is the thing we talked about before. What kind of story are you trying to write? Are you trying to write first-person perspective, or are you trying to write an actual, basically, narrative of suddenly here's the rest of the story? Like,
and the thing I'm getting is going, so we're making this net with Asra, okay? So that's what Nerd is doing. Is Nerd also, it requires no vision to make this net with Astra, and we're just watching what everyone's doing while we're doing that, or are we focusing on the spell that I kind of remember and have to work hard to work with you with?
Right.
Are we focusing all of our, Will, on combining our magic with Astra, which is what Astra literally described to us to do, if we're going to combine our magic and make it stronger, which seemed to be a big process when it happened before.
Yeah!
It was a big whole arc back there just a couple episodes ago of combining magic.
This is why this seems so silly!
Stay put seems to be the only option, as well as to fit with Nerd's character very strongly. With an effort, I master my fear.
What?
The best thing I can do right now is help Astra with the spell. I am not connected to that at all, because I don't know what it looks like to do this spell.
Our character has such the weirdest levels of, like, I pay attention to literally goddamn everything around me, except when I don't.
Yes, it's fine.
Fine.
I have to stay put and trust in our friends. I mean, if you ran in, what would you do anyways? The net is the intervention as far as you're planning. So if you want to help him,
you've got to do the net. Yeah, like...
Lucio advances on me and Asra, his grin a bloodthirsty slash. Hang on a second. So...
taking out Julian.
Everyone is down and doesn't exist since we scratched Julian.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Where is Pasha in all of this? I know she doesn't fight. As far as I know, she doesn't fight, though I expect her to throw a rock like a hobbit.
Honestly,
like any
she
moment.
went after Valdemar, so I fucking don't believe that at all.
Yeah, I believe she would throw herself the hell in there, but that's okay. That's just me.
I
also feel like she might know something ridiculous like fabric binding, because like she's got cloth wrapped all around her. And one of the things I will say for people that I've known that wear like shawls and head wraps and, you know, a lot of cloth accessories, like as far as like wraps and stuff like that, or like big cloth belts and things, like almost every one of them knows clothing bind. And I have seen them use it not only to like catch small children when they're running away, but also to be like, here is a dangerous dog, and I will wrap their head in cloth so they can't bite anyone until they calm down and we can deal with the situation.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know what I mean by like by cloth bind or clothing bind, but even a big sharp metal arm, like you can bind it by wrapping a bunch of cloth around it and pulling it back behind the person. Like it's still a restraint. And scratching through the end of it doesn't free the rest of your arm.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. I would totally see that headcanon for Pasha for me.
Yeah.
All right. What are you two up to, huh? Nadia steps between us, drawing an elegant sword from thin air. She levels it at Lucio with a glare. Where did she learn so much magic? I want to know more of Nadia's story and why we haven't seen her ever do magic and have had her affirm that she doesn't know any magic. When they were walking through the door, did they go through a portal where Astra just taught everyone everything along the way? Like it was one of those time vortexes where you spend like a year in the doorway, but it's only like a quarter of a second?
So basically what you're telling me is they went to the hyperbolic time chamber from Dragon Ball Z.
I don't even know what that is, but sure. Not you too. Naughty! Portia, with me. Get your sword. Oh.
I got your back, milady.
I pulls down her hair like a badass.
I will kick your ass.
It's fine. Either that or leaves it tied up and undoes the sash around her waist. Each swipe of Lucio's claws is countered by a slash of Nadia's sword, I assume, while I look at the spell and hear tinging. I think. With a yell, Portia rushes from him from the side.
Astra. Nerd, over here.
Nerd, pay attention.
Nerd.
Me, I know why this spell is taking so long, because I keep not focusing over and over and over again.
It's fine.
You know what would be interesting for me in this scene? If we are in Nerd's head and Nerd is working on the spell, I try so hard to focus on the spell. I hear a lot of ruckus going on. I hear Julian yelp. I hear Nadia shout, you know, these kinds of things. And I try so hard to keep my mind focused on the spell. Like, from the side.
Almost done.
Almost done.
Hi.
You know what? I force myself to focus on the net again as I keep leaving my side hanging, and he works so hard. If falter now, the entire spell will unravel. I assume it's if I falter now? I think there's supposed to be an I in there.
Oh, I'm okay. Go ahead.
If
Falter now,
the entire spell will unravel. I mean, if I falter now, the entire spell will unravel. Together, Astra and I infuse the net with magic. Hang on a second. Is the net magic, or is it a thing that we made and then we infuse it with magic?
We had to weave our spell, our magic into gossamer threads, and then we have to re-weave the net.
No, and then we have to
with
infuse it.
Magic.
So we have to weave the net out of magic and then infuse it with magic. So maybe what was going on is that Astra was weaving it while we were just creating threads, and then we're both infusing it together.
Again, you guys, okay. I hate being harsh on something like this, but I don't know how this magic works. This sounds inane. Like, everything seems to magically just sort of bust out one direction and then go the other, and it's like, what's the limitation here? What are we limited by? I don't get...
Also, again, Nazali and, Mazalinka have disappeared. And Julian is potentially reacting to his face, but given how he reacted in the bar fight, he should just still be in the fray.
Yeah, he's fine. But then again, at that point... he still had magical healy fun time, so I don't know if he can heal in the Astral Blade where he doesn't have a body.
I don't know. I say, additionally, though, you have this thing of going, okay, let's see. There's 4 of them. If they all just dogpile on Lucio, he's not going to be able to hurt any of them.
He won't!
He would just be pinned on the ground, dragging at the grass or the burnt circle with his hand.
You guys...
But they may not be that organized at all. They don't seem to have a leader. The 4 of them aren't directing themselves together. They're not working together. They're working alone around each other. Except now, Nadia and Pasha, who are an actual team because they've worked together. So I can jive with that. Astra and I infuse the magic net with magic. It begins to glow, as if we've trapped sunlight in its weave. I'm sorry, it's a magic net infused with magic, okay? Just, you have to... Pasha yelps in surprise and pain.
See? Good. We don't have to know exactly what's going on.
What happens?
You can just hear Portia make sad, unhappy sound.
Pasha makes a sad sound.
Yeah.
but I swallow my fear. The thing is the weirdest thing is somebody makes a sound, and they're assuming that it makes the apprentice afraid. Like, not surprised, not shocked, not curious, not attentive, not grabs their attention.
Not concerned?
Just fear. And it's weird how much they're going to, when I hear a sad sound from my friend or when I see Julian get hurt, I get fear. Not protectiveness, not defensiveness, not any concern or anything, just fear. Like, and I wonder if that's supposed to be part of the narrative, if that's all you can feel emotionally, is just fear? I don't know. But I swallow my fear and keep my attention on the net.
Done! Now we just need an opening.
In the net? But it's full of holes.
No, but I give you kisses.
But the net is already full of many openings.
No.
I'm 3, okay? And my mind is very full, very stressed. Now we just need an opening. There's so many openings, Astra. Which one? No, in the fight. Oh, shit.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to say that isn't even trying to make nerd dumb or young or anything. Just sometimes when you're super stressed out and really when your attention is divided, you just go, an opening? What?
Yeah, that happens a lot.
I look back up just in time to see Mazalinka catch Lucio across the ear with her spoon. She's jumping through the air anime style to reach up to his ear and just pep!
Like I told you, anime fight scene. Fair enough. Everybody's
She's doing flying ninja, spoon technique. I love it. The ear. That's for Nevivon! He whirls on Mazalinka, ignoring the other people, snarling like the dogs he has at home, and the tip of Nadia's sword catches him across the cheek, because he's gonna hate that scar.
Ouch.
This is for Vesuvia. Portia rams her shoulder into Lucio's stomach. Oh, they're working together, sort of. Yes! Sending him sprawling.
This is for my brother!
She looks stunned. It worked! I hit him! Like she does look surprised that she hit him.
Why do you look surprised? Okay, whatever. I don't understand the face
I still feel like this all would have worked just fine, showing the land as it was, the landscape that we were in before, like showing the grass and the hills.
Yeah.
I feel like this all would have worked really well with that.
It's fine. No!
Astra and I hurl the magical net with jingly bells. I don't know if you heard those, but like tinkling jingly bells. Now I'm picturing one of those fishing nets that's got the weighted balls on the edges, like the lure, the weights. Except for it jingles, it's a bunch of bells as you throw it out over him.
Oh, that'd be cool as hell.
Like if you've ever seen those big circle nets, the way they're bound, and then people cast them in a big sweeping throw, and then they just come out in a huge circle, and it just jingles on the edges. Would be very pretty.
Yeah, it'd be great.
The magical net over Lucio. With an outraged screech, he claws at the strands. Hopefully it's a small net and didn't grab everyone else because they were really close to him. His alchemical arm hisses and steams, but the magically reinforced net holds firm. He can't get free.
See, we know what an alchemical arm looks like.
I know. I've wondered how we knew that at all, because we did mention that even back like in the prologue when we saw his portrait, that it was his glowing alchemical arm, and I'm going, we know about alchemical stuff? Nerd so wants to be a magical engineer and do, like, alchemical engineering.
Right.
Like, so bad. That is what this apprentice wants. He can't get free.
And that was for my parents.
Oh, what did he do to your parents?
Good question.
Hey! You can't do that. That's cheating! I offer Julian a hand up, and he takes it, grinning as I help him to his feet.
Because Pasha literally has no fucking reason to knock Lucio. She has no personal. I'm fine.
Hold on. So, Julian got scratched across the face, and then ended up on the ground because of the scratch across his face, and then hasn't gotten up since then despite an ongoing fight. That must be a pretty bad scratch.
Yes.
Like seriously, if he's been down for the count this entire time, oof. But he's smiling, so that's good. I am terrified of what his face looks like. Nadia strides purposely toward Lucio, sword in hand. You can't kill him! Somehow he's brought a body onto the astral plane!
Somehow!
Now, whatever shall we do with you? From his awkward position, the net tangled around his limbs, Lucio cranes his neck so he can see us. Are we all standing behind him like assholes? Every one of us moved to one side of him, where it's really awkward for him to turn his head around to look at us.
Oh my god.
That is so funny. actually, because if he's not like turning his face against the ground, he's just craning it to see us. I feel like it really is like we've all moved to stand on a side of him where he can't see us easily, and he's bound so tightly in the net because he's tangled himself so bad that he really can't shift around much. And so he's really just like, we're just standing like awkwardly away from him.
We keep shuffling gently at a worse angle and worse, making him turn around and he twists himself more and more into the net, and we go, perfect.
Yep,
You're now present.
Until he is more and more bound like the most awkward caterpillar, or a fly in a spider's web.
Yes.
All right. Lucio cranes his neck so he can see us, all of us, at once. Wait. All right, listen. Maybe we can work something out. You let me go, and, you'll call off your deal with the devil that you bargained with chips you didn't have for? Oh, sorry. And? I'll help you kill the devil. That's what you're trying to do, right? No, actually, we're not trying to kill him. We're trying to stop him, but this is fine. It's fine. I have my doubts. Even if he was trustworthy, he's not close enough to any of us to lend me his strength. Wait, where did that come from?
So remember the dealio bit in the earlier part with I gain magical power from my friends?
Right, but
we
from my
have
friends...
to have the Green Ranger join our team.
Oh my god. Okay, no. So what that meant when they said bring your friends is they mean...
This is Tommy. You have to...
Either people that are close to you or that are close to someone else who's close to you. And it doesn't matter how the links and the change happen. So Dr. Nazali works because they're close to Julian,
yes.
I assume? And so it doesn't matter if they're close to us. But he's so distant. I had no idea that's what they were trying to exposit. That it's just people who are close to either us or close to someone else who's close to us. So just links of connected chain. This is the seven steps of like Kevin Bacon or whatever it was with that game.
Oh God!
Yeah, do you remember that?
God
old
damn it!
game?
I hate that.
And it's just basically like it was this party game where basically in 7 steps, like knowing 7 different people, you could get to Kevin Bacon because he'd been involved in so much stuff. It was a thing that like my parents played.
Yeah, oh God, it was a funny fucking game.
And it was basically just like when he was really ubiquitous in the 90s, when I was, pretty little, there was this experience where they would talk about how it was the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. That was the name of the game. And it was this idea that if you picked someone you knew who might be closer, theoretically, to something he did, that in 7 other people from who he knew, who they knew, who the other person knew, you could find somebody who directly had worked with Kevin Bacon.
Yep.
And
it was
that's
really funny as a game.
Anyway, so that's what this is basically the 7 degrees of knowing nerd, basically, and any of that works.
Yes.
All right. He's not close enough to any of us to lend me his strength. No. I speak. Yes! I love it. What? What do you mean, no? Trust me, you need my help. This was my deal, my kerfuffle. I want him wrapped in a net looking really awkward while he stands there. Or at least decoratively wrapped in a net, like Julian was decoratively in chains.
Honestly, that would be fine with me.
It'd be so charming. I would love it.
You'd say anything to save your own skin.
And it's not even your own skin, it's mine.
Bitch.
And
I trust you about as far as I can throw you.
I bet you can throw him. You're really strong.
I am really capable. Actually, people don't realize that I'm really good at, body fighting. I'm really good at it. Yeah.
No, I know. I've seen you pick things up, in the kitchen around the palace. It's amazing.
Oh, nice.
Excellent, thanks. So maybe don't trust him even as far as you can throw him.
Oh, yeah, good point. Which is, pretty far, apparently, but still.
That's yeah, you're trusting him too much.
So basically what I'm hearing is that Pasha, like myself, we both would be really good in shot put.
Yeah.
Which is what I did actually in middle school. I did shot put, so.
Yes, Pasha would kick ass at shot put, or what's the one with the one on
the dumbbell?
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called.
That
but there's also, the thing that I knew about was
Javelin?
the shot put, I was going to say discus.
Oh, discus?
Yeah, that was the other one.
Shot put, discus, javelin, yeah, any of the throwing ones.
And
anyway.
The weight bell or whatever it was.
Why won't any of you listen to me? What did I ever do to any of you? Any of you? You literally took my whole body.
Yeah, you've done enough already.
Yeah, but he asked what? What did he do?
I know you're French, so you've done enough already. You go get fucked.
I mean, well, you. I haven't done anything to you.
Not to me personally, but you've left a sea of bodies in your wake.
Hi. So they always look extremely charmed. Like, Nizali is always like, I am super chill about everything. You know what? Death everywhere. That's what happened.
That's fine.
You say that. Almost like a newscaster, you know?
They're like, I'm really chill. I am the journalist.
It's fine. Everything is chill. It's
fine.
But I've never done wrong by you, fools.
Yeah,
Ever. Never once. Doesn't matter if I ran the entire program you're involved in and locked you in your dungeon office cell thing.
Yeah. You think so?
I do, I think so, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that must be really hard on your little tiny fucking brain. I mean, how about the time you gave me the plague?
Oh, you mean I wrapped it in a box and gave it to you? That one. It's the plague in a box. It's my plague in a box.
Suddenly you have that entire thing. Where it's my plague in a box.
It's my plague in a box for you.
Oh, God.
What?
Suddenly I have a horrible image
Oh,
of
God.
Lucio with the ramen hair. Remember that was really popular that Justin Timberlake had? Because it's gonna be
fun.
my... And it's like, here's him with that hair. And my brain's just like, and he is a blonde.
Yep.
Oh my fucking God, I think I'm gonna be sick.
I was gonna say, did he just actively just give you the plague? Like, here it is on a platter. This is for you.
I cuffed on you, you know.
He didn't wear his mask or social distance at all.
We didn't have, you know,
When he was hitting on you, he got way too close.
a little.
What? There are similar gasps and exclamations of shock all around. How did you give Julian the plague? Were you guys involved too? Was it before or after Astra?
That's right. You ran away from me?
Nerd, the
To
child. Nerd, the small one, asking these questions. The one who has no context as to whether or not this should be the important, information at all.
It's all important. Wah!
I've never heard this before. Yeah, well, you've also never really... It's fine.
Heard about magic.
He did what? I think, okay, so this is very important here, all right? So, if Nerd was like, someone can specifically, intentionally give someone else the plague, I think Nerd would be very curious.
Oh, I'm gonna be so sad because we're gonna have to split this between 2 episodes.
We are going to have to split this between 2 episodes. Okay, so
assuming
guys,
that this isn't huge.
right? So we're going to have to figure out where this ends, but I'm confident it won't end before this episode ends, so we'll be able to research between episodes.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so, but in the meantime, because we have to find out where the scene ends, so we know where to cut it off. But if you're not familiar with this, when we pick a premium choice via our agreement with Nix Hydra, we have to use cover-up art so you don't see anything in the premium scene.
Right.
And we have to do descriptives of what it is without reading any of their dialogue, as also per our agreement of being able to play this game. Okay? So, Nerd is going to say, he did what? And then from there, we're going to describe what the rest of the scene is like, okay?
Yep, sounds good.
All right, so we'll see. We'll just, let's pursue that. He did what?
Hi.
All right, so Nerd asks that question.
Oh boy.
And then Nerd proceeds to look at the bad dude in question, feeling really surprised. And then
Shocked.
There's this level of like deep anger that just builds up inside of Nerd, directed utterly.
And it tangles around the back part that holds you up.
The backbone. You can just say backbone.
Backbone, okay. Fine.
It's okay. It's really like it originates inside, like up the backbone. The anger comes from there.
Yes.
It's fine, but it's the really big anger. All right. And then Lucio,
like a douche,
seeing this sort of experience going on around him,
complains
that basically
like a Karen,
that essentially that experience that Julian had described was a consequence of not doing what he wanted him to do fast enough.
quickly enough.
There we go, quickly enough. Because basically he's going, you as an employee working for me did not achieve the goals I've set for you with throughput and, basically production the way I told you to.
The alacrity with which you approached this particular situation was very disappointing.
It was lacking. That's what we have. And then we've got Lucio going that Lucio was deciding that giving Julian the plague would be the proper incentive to actually solve the affliction.
Because they just.
Because of course, if you're sick as well, then you'll be more incentivized to fix it because now it concerns you.
Tantalizingly nearby, the answer was just out of reach.
So we've really got this experience of Lucio saying, "I made you sick to get you to work harder."
Yes.
That's what's happening here.
And then Julian, rage-filled, is like fucking...
That is kind of creepy. So, okay, do you want to describe this? Don't use any of those words.
So basically, he's just really mad, like, bullshit! I needed more incentive! That wasn't incentive! What happened was you took a little ugly red-ass creature that's crumbly and chitters a lot, that we've seen a lot in the you know, in the scenarios. It's a little insect.
The ones that live in the little, you know,
The well.
corner well down in the dungeon.
And you crammed it in my face against my will. Fuck you!
Yes, that is what happens right here. That's what Julian describes. And you've really just got a very cavalier Lucio being like, how does that matter? I don't see it's a problem. Since it's over, and you're clearly not dead, even though Julian's technically dead right now. I say so Lucio's just like, since you're not dead, everything turned out fine, didn't it?
It's great.
And basically what he's got here is going, I'm not accountable for that experience because it turned out fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
look at you, you're still breathing.
Yeah, and then so that's the kind of a narrative that people would use sometimes of basically going, well, I might have done a shit thing to you in the past, but you seem fine now, so it doesn't matter. That is his logic. Now we are faced with a choice.
Two options, one of which implies that actually Lucio did the same thing potentially to us. And now the other one that's just sort of defending Julian and explaining that the ends do not justify the means.
Yes. So I don't even know what this one means. I don't know how to apply
I said that to me going, like, as I said, is it that we were purposely infected? That's what that sounds like to me. That is an interesting jump for our character to make, wouldn't you say?
Okay.
Do you see what I mean?
No, because I don't, like, I see what you're saying, but I don't see how that applies. So
again,
basically,
we don't know what's going on in our character's head all fucking time.
At all. We really don't. So the two options here are either to shout out, but, or like, not for me, essentially, or not, like the nerd's action didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, there's a thing that I disagree with, or, straight out just saying, you're still accountable. Like, you don't get a pass.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to
ends don't justify the means.
I'm gonna have to think about this a little bit. So we are at time, guys, and we are in the middle of the scene. We will make sure we find where the end of the scene is for the next episode. And it's been really good to have you for this fiasco, because I love the idea of, one, knowing that Julian was actually a careful and thoughtful doctor and used proper hygiene and stuff and didn't just haphazardly get exposed to the plague. It was really deliberately inflicted upon him.
Honestly, I think that's going a little bit too far. I don't believe that in the slightest, but that's another story, because we don't know what the practices of this country is.
Well, think about it this way.
We're running out of time. I don't care.
But I care. If he's working in that dungeon and they know the beetles are carrying the plague and they're all living in that dungeon in a little, like, well, he had to clearly stay away from those as well as from all the corpses being dissected all the time, because that was Valdemar's giant bag.
I appreciate that. But we know so one of the reasons I say I don't care is because constantly we keep getting weird information that doesn't seem like it follows any logical path. It's like this level of going, here's a tiny little tidbit of information here that literally doesn't really follow where you would have a conversation that would come up. Does that make sense?
Like this piece?
Yep, exactly. But is it the whole thing of going like, what about me? Kind of thing is really weird. Which is why I'm like, you're kidding. What? Anyway. So we will be back with you in the next one, and thank you so much for joining us in this fascinating experience. All right, so thank you very much, guys, though, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos if you're having a good time with us. Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon. We got the links in the description down below, and I have been Scandal. And I have been Lies. And it was great playing with you. Bye!